Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Sports and Entertainment Network. I'm DB Love. This is World Football Alliance. This week, we're going to be covering Week 2 action from the United Division. We're going to start things off and talk about the Week 1 Players of the Week from the United Division. Starting off on offense, it's Josh Bonner, quarterback for the Columbus Caps, who you'll see in some highlights for Week 2 this week coming up. But in Week 1, he went 40 of 47 for 484 yards and 5 touchdowns. He also had a couple carries for 23 yards. He did throw a one pick. That's 2 carries for 23 yards. He did throw a pick and got roughed up a bit. He got sacked quite a bit, but outstanding game for him, and he had an awesome game in Week 2. We'll show you that a little later. On the defensive side, in Week 1, Player of the Week for the United Division was Bradley Scott, the cornerback from the Portland Lumberjacks. He had a monster day, 10 tackles, including 1 sack, 1 interception, a fumble recovery that he took to the house for a touchdown. So congratulations to those 2 players in Week 1. Now let's get into the Week 2 action. This week, our first highlight, we're going to send you out with the Brooklyn Beats taking on the very first game for the Dublin Celtic Tigers. Let's get you out to that one. A few quick highlights from that. All right, we jump right to halftime. There you see 23-17 lead by the Celtic Tigers. Back and forth game so far. It was 10-7 Celtic Tigers. They added on that touchdown. Brooklyn would answer back here in the second quarter with a touchdown of their own to make it 17-14. Now we will jump forward to the end of the game. There you see the final Celtic Tigers 42-23. Here's a touchdown pass by Brooklyn to Ratliff there. Here's a touchdown run by the Celtic Tigers backup running back who came on and got one. There's one by their starting running back, Martinez Drake, who had an outstanding day. That was the opening touchdown of the game right there by Brooklyn. Good, get his feet in. And there's the pick 6 by Cooper. Take a look here at the final stats. Game dominated by the Celtic Tigers. All right, our next highlights. We're going to get you over, as I said earlier, we're going to bring you some highlights from Columbus Caps, who went down to Houston to take on the Houston Gunners. Let's get you over to that. We'll start things off with a touchdown by Columbus here in the first quarter. Deep pass, 76-yard touchdown, complete to Carter, the son of legendary wide receiver Chris Carter. He'll take it 76 yards up the left sideline for the touchdown. Nice reception there, and he breaks away from the secondary. We jump now. This is the first pick 6 of 4 that Columbus had on the day. This was the first by Gross, who had 2 pick 6s on the day. He'll take that one to the house for the touchdown. Here now, 8 seconds left in the first half. Houston will answer back with a touchdown of their own. Sturgeon, one of his 4 touchdown passes to his own team, in addition to those 4 pick 6s he threw. Here's your halftime stats. You see offense completely dominated by Houston. He only had the 1 turnover there at the half. There's one of his passing touchdowns. That was the first of the game that made it 7-0 Houston. Here was the second. Houston jumped out to an early 14-0 lead. Columbus would come roaring back, though. Here's Columbus's first touchdown we talked about, the one to Carter. making his dad proud right there. Here's here's another completion to Carter. He had a good day, 2 touchdowns for him on the day. Here's Bonner hitting Pape over the middle to tie it up at 14. We'll jump now to the 4th quarter. There is the 2nd pick 6 by Gross on the day. This one goes 99 yards. Look at that. Jumps the route at his own 1-yard line. Takes it the entire length of the field, 99 yards for his 2nd pick 6 of the day. What an up and down day for Houston quarterback Tannen Sturgeon it was. Incredible play there. A little showboating by Gross. He deserves it. Here with about 2.5 left to go in the game, Houston would tack on their final touchdown. The 4th touchdown pass of the day to Sturgeon, from Sturgeon. Hits big number 11 there, who had a good game, over 100 yards receiving for him. And there's your final 49-37. Columbus coming to Houston and coming out with a huge win. Here was the 2nd touchdown, I believe, by Houston that made it 14-0. There's one of your pick 6s from the Columbus defense. There's another one. That was one of the ones by Gross right there. There's Carter again with his touchdown reception. There's the 3rd pick 6, that one by Carpenter. Here's your numbers. You will see 611 passing yards for Tannen Sturgeon in a losing effort. As you can see there, just an insane game down in Houston. Columbus comes out with the big win. 4 pick 6s in that game. 2 by Gross, 1 by Carpenter, and I forget who had the 3rd one, but 4 pick 6. Columbus's defense outscored their offense 28-21. As you saw, Tannen Sturgeon threw for 655 yards, a league record. He threw for 4 touchdowns to his own team. Unfortunately, he also threw 4 touchdowns to Columbus in the 4 pick 6s. Also, on the other side of the ball, as I said earlier, Josh Bonner had another outstanding game. He came out of that game with a perfect QBR rating. So just a wild game down in Houston, but Columbus comes out on top in that one. Let's look at some other scores from around the league, where we had Mexico City Conquistadors battled with the Memphis Steamers. Memphis came out on top in that one, 20-14. We also had the Portland Lumberjacks, and Bradley Scott took on the Sacramento Miners. Sacramento came out on top in that one, 27-10. That was Sacramento's first game. They go to 1-0. Portland 1-1. That was also the Memphis Steamers' first game. They go to 1-0, and Mexico City falls to 1-1. There were 6 teams with bye weeks this week: Austin, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, Toronto, London, and Salt Lake City. So there you have it. That gets you up to speed in the United Division in Week 2 of the World Football Alliance. Stay tuned tonight. We have the game of the week in the United Division that puts the Chicago Blues up against the San Diego Crusaders. Be sure to tune in for that one. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel for all the action all year long from the World Football Alliance. Please comment. We want you guys to be involved, so please comment and talk to us. and tune in tonight for that game of the week. We'll see you then.